So this is a follow-up video to my first attempt at Damascus forge welding, and starting out the same way. These are all the other pieces that you would see if you watched my other video. These were the remaining pieces, the 8 layers. Someone did tell me they thought that was quite a bit. Maybe I should start out with less, like maybe 3. I think there's merit to that argument, but I already had these already. And I want to recreate the similar conditions to the first time I tried this, so that I can see if the changes that I made actually worked based on the same type of billet. So this time I've got 2 burners on my forge, and I think it's going to get a whole lot hotter. I honestly have not used it yet. This will be my first try. I'm not a patient guy, so instead of testing it on something else, I'm going to dive right into doing this, and I'm going to take you guys with me. All right, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. So I got the first bit of flux on after it got a little red hot, letting it soak, and man, I'm not even going to hit it this time until I feel like it's about ready to burn the steel, if that's even possible with that forge. But definitely is a bit hotter, so let's go, man. Let's be successful this time. Sort of wondering if I should have preheated this. Man, windy days suck when you're working with Venturi burners. Hope I don't lose too much heat. Ooh, that's hot in my glove. This is not a welding glove. This is not a welding glove. Ooh. Okay, so this is the 4th time in the fire, and hopefully there's some welding going on. I'm going to try to draw it out a little bit now, and I don't know, we'll hope for the best. That's I'm beginning to wonder if I can do this on my porch here. We'll see. So that's part of this for me too. I want to draw it out and fold it over one more time. Maybe I'm too ambitious for a noob. I don't know. Maybe rookie blacksmith shouldn't be drawing it out and folding it over. That's what I'm going to try to do. Oh man, I keep ripping my pants every time I bend over. I can feel it. Old jeans, man. Old jeans. Man, I don't know what to do from here. This is where I'm kind of a super noob. Super noob. Super noob. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, it looks stuck, but what does that mean, you know? Yes, I know I'm pitiful at this. I'm trying. I mean, it looks like it's holding together, but I haven't really pounded it hard like I did last time trying to draw it out. I'm scared, you know. I kind of want to get it more squared up even on the edges before I do that, but I'm scared to hit it too hard on the side. I'm a chicken noob. Rookie Bladesmith. This guy. Okay, let's bring you guys in here, just see what's going on in the forge. I don't know if this thing will be able to pick it up or not, but we're going to try. So I'm trying to get white hot. It's white hotter than that looks right there in that light. But, I don't know. I am not sure. How do you guys that do this not use a bunch of fuel? Because I feel like I have to go slow each time because I don't want it to cool down too much while I'm doing my work. I'm not sure what temperature you can be moving it at after it's welded. Do I have to go back up to the white hot every time? I don't know. That's what you get, rookie blacksmith. So, I'm almost afraid to think that I might be successful, but man, it's encouraging when I'm looking in the forge and it looks like the whole billet is heating and cooling at the same rate. That is encouraging to me. Oh, let's hope it works. When I get about to the width of this rebar, that's when I'm gonna go ahead and either stop and normalize it and then cut it and then do another one more time over, or I'm going to try to cut it in half, fold it over on itself, and then weld it again. I don't know which I'm going to do. I don't really have a good tool to cut with. I'll probably just end up on the side of the anvil like that, pop it through, and then flip it around. I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. Stuff definitely looks a different color. You know, out here it gets darker, but you get it back in there, it's still pretty red. But I want it hot, 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 hot while I'm working on it. I might be wrong, but that's what I feel like I gotta do. Man, my eyes are hurting. So much sweat. Oh! Out of scale, but I don't know. I don't know how much further to go. Oh, I think we're getting there. That there looks a little funny because those pieces weren't level on this side when I stacked them. Oh wait, I'm seeing a little spot there. That's concerning me. Yeah, there's a spot right there. I don't know, I almost want to normalize it at this point. I don't know. I really wish it was longer. Yeah, I'd really want to make it longer. So, second attempt at making Damascus steel, day 2. I got a little tired yesterday and I really needed to call it quits. I had some other things I had to do, and I was just beat up and burned in many places. And so anyways, yeah, what I did that you didn't see, I cut this billet in half. I cleaned up one side of each really good, and then I tack welded it back together. But in the process, I decided to take a little of the ferric chloride acid, I think that's what it's called, that I got, and I just kind of etched the end a little bit to kind of get an idea of what it looks like. And I definitely think we're forge welding. I think I was forge welding last time, although not quite hot enough. That's why the one piece delaminated off. The other one started to break apart. I think the mistake was I was too aggressively trying to draw it out too fast. And steel that's been forged welded together is like any other kind of metal that's been welded. The welded spots are never quite the same as a complete entire block that you get from the mill. And yeah, I was so aggressively striking it, trying to draw it out, I was breaking welds I think were taking place. I think the added heat definitely helps, the 2 torches. But let me just give you guys a closer look at what it looks like so far. So this is what I'm working with right now. Getting ready to fire up the forge and to hit this again. So I don't know if you'll be able to pick it up in this camera or not, but I did etch that end a little bit so you can see the layers. The spots where 5160 is coming in contact with the 1095, it's not quite as distinct, but it is very distinct where you can see the difference between the bandsaw layers and the rest. I'm actually quite pleased. Yeah, you'd think I could leave well enough alone and leave it 8 layers, which I kind of would have liked to have, and just tried to make something out of those 8 layers. But I realized that I've got all those small little layers in between two fat pieces of 5160 on the ends. That was the kind of the bread of the sandwich. Well, I want that 5160 to be my cutting edge. So I feel like I had to cut it in half and put them together. So now there's going to be one thick layer of 5160 right dead center, which is going to make my cutting edge. So I really think that I need to do this. Hopefully I don't mess up the work that's already been done, because man, I've already put a lot of work into this thing. So let's fire up the forge, see what happens today. Let's do now. I keep fluxing and banging and fluxing and banging. I don't know. I'll tell you one thing, this thing is not really straight right now. Don't like that. Yeah, I think I'll do one more welding heat to make sure I've soaked all the way through to the middle. I'm pretty sure I have, but better safe than sorry, right? So I think it's welded. Now the tricky part is how to bring it down to a knife-shaped object without beating it up real bad. And this is where it gets challenging for me. I feel like that's how I really messed up the worst last time, was beyond just not having quite enough heat. When I was trying to draw it out and change the shape aggressively, it broke apart. And I really don't want that to happen this time. Oh, we'll see what happens. Probably hitting it too hard instead of just letting the hammer do the work. But I'm new at this, so it is what it is. I just don't feel very accurate. That lack of accuracy. Not like that, but it's hard to lift that sucker up like that. Oh man, I'll tell you what, I don't know if you can see the sweat on my brow, but it's like 85 degrees out here today, and in there I'm sure it's well over 95. I'm probably just going to get this down close because I don't know what I'm going to do to turn it into a knife-shaped object. So I'm probably just going to pound it down the layers, let it normalize, and then we'll pick this up later. It's funny when your sweat falls off your face, drips next to your hand, you hear go. Oh, that's nasty on the sides. Really nasty. I'll have to give that a brush next time. And the good thing is I'm not breaking that weld. That is very, Very good. Bad news is I still don't know how I'm going to get this into a shape of something that's going to make a knife. Oh, the scale is horrible. It out. That's interesting. That almost looks like a breakaway. That's not even from this weld. I don't know. That guy like popped out there. I don't know. That might require some flux and heat. So, yeah, I think aggressively trying to move the metal when you're a little bit cooler broke on my welds in there, and it doesn't seem to be re-welding. I'm going to finish this and see what happens, but I think that's what took place. I'm not sure if this battery's going to run out or not, but I just want you guys to see this is not easy work. If you take a look at this shirt here, this is not water I put on me. This is a whole bunch of sweat from a whole bunch of hard work. And I'm pretty sure I've got a couple of cold spots that broke loose on that Damascus billet. But I'm going to follow it through anyway, just so I can learn more. I think it's because I was working it when it was too cold, and it's kind of too late now. We'll see.